Hi, Fiona here from Find Your Fabulous with Fiona, and we are looking at more questions that come up after your divorce. And today, a big one that I have come across with people that I work with is when you find yourself sort of isolated. Okay, you know, divorce brings up all sorts of surprises, right? You know that you're gonna have a different relationship with your ex. You know that maybe your in-laws might not be the same. Sometimes it's even your own family that reacts differently, but you think that your friends are sort of always going to be there for you, right? But what happens is you need to prepare for the fact that it changes all kinds of relationships. So friends that you once took for granted might end up sort of disappearing or evaporating, and others that you didn't really think were that close to you end up being like the mainstay of your support. It's kind of an interesting dynamic. But basically what you need to do is keep in mind that everyone who knows you is now processing all of their own feelings, right? And they might not be able to handle it. So it's important to recognize this, and you really need to be prepared to it, really, because otherwise it's even more upsetting, and you can have confusion and misunderstandings. And it is very easy to end up feeling isolated and alone. If you have kids, you can focus on your kids. You can make new friends at work, but sometimes when you're older and your children are older, you don't have that same kid connection thing. And so you have that gap as well. So yeah, it's upsetting when you're a married couple, you have a lot of mutual friends, right? And then sometimes you find, or you feel that they're taking sides. So not only are you now losing friends, but you kind of have this feel of betrayal. Okay. There's lots of reasons for this. I mean, it really, and most of them are not even anything to do with you. And that's a really important thing to remember, is that a lot of it is not your fault. It's just what happens. So some of it is because, people aren't comfortable with the grief, and they become kind of rejecting or cool because they don't really know what to do. It's that they don't know what to say. It's a little awkward. So they stay away. They might even actually think that your ex is the person who is in the right, not that anybody's in the right. It's a situation where, it is what it is. But sometimes people take sides, and they don't realize that they're upsetting you. I know that when after my husband left and I was mentioning to a couple of mutual friends that I found out he was having an affair, they basically said, no, you must be imagining that. And I was totally dismissed. And I found that very hard to deal with them after that, because even if they really truly thought that, maybe they could ask me questions and find out why I thought that, but it was a complete dismissal. So that can make it very difficult when people sort of discount what you're saying to them. The most important and common reason that people lose friends really is because the weight of your decisions, right, and your emotions. It's a lot. You're going through a lot. You're not yourself. You may change the way that you act. You may just not be the usual cheery, happy person that you always are, right? And that's a lot for other people to bear. And so they kind of subtly at first sort of stop calling, or they pull away. But then eventually you realize how uncomfortable they are, and that's kind of it. So sometimes even there's kind of a social stigma. Okay, if you have friends who are in, married couple friend groups and they've never been through it, they don't really understand. They don't understand what you're going through. They don't understand why this happened. So to them, it's like, oh, this is also silly. I don't know if this really works. They just don't know how to handle it. I mean, I can tell you once, maybe even they're sort of threatened, or they see it almost like, I almost felt like, I have to tell you that I felt like some people thought it was kind of contagious, right? Like if it can happen to them, it can happen to me. I remember about, I don't know, a couple of weeks after my husband left me, I was in the grocery store and I'm walking down the aisle with my trolley, pushing it down the aisle. And I see a lady coming towards me. Now, we weren't best friends, but we knew each other really well. We were very close acquaintances. And I see her coming towards me. You're like walking towards each other, right? And I know she saw me because she couldn't miss me. And she literally turned around and went the other way. And that really upset me for a very long time, until I sort of, later on thought about it and realized it's like, honestly, it wasn't that she was dissing me or she didn't like me or she was siding with him or whatever things ran through my mind at that point. I think she just didn't know what to say. She didn't want to say. And so she walked away. I mean, 9 years later, I bumped into her again and we got on great. So that's what you need to realize. So here's the thing. Now, she was just an acquaintance, but if you're confused in any way about what your really old friendships are changing, it's as simple as this. Walk up to the person or call them or ask them for a cup of coffee and say, hey, what's going on? Just talk to them, right? And then the other thing you can do is you can go through your contacts and have a look at them and think about who you consider the people to be the most important to you, right? And very importantly, who do you think is going to offer you the most support, the most positive reinforcement? Those people that are going to be happy for you in your new life, where you set new goals and you're moving on. Those are the people that you want to reach out to. Those are the people that you want to go and have a coffee with or go do something fun that you like to do together, right? The people you want to cross off your list, okay, are those people who are a little negative about your new goals. If you say, oh, well, I'm getting divorced, so I think I'm going to try this new job, or I'm going to, I'm taking a trip, or, those who are very poo-pooey about what you're doing, those people are not really supporting you, right? And the ones who are really interested in the negative details, like, oh, so what happened then? And what did he do? Oh my gosh. And how much money are you getting out of him? All that stuff. Anybody who's really interested in that negative stuff, oh, how about this one? How about the ones who are sending you text updates or photos of what your ex is up to now? Those are people that you need to ditch, right? And it may be hard because you think you don't have that many friends to hang on to as it is. But these people are the ones that you need to cut loose because they are not going to be good for you in the long run. So I can tell you, I'm 10 years out now, and I found that the people that fell away from me after my divorce, to be honest, I didn't really miss them. So eventually I made new friends, and they're really the type of people that I want to be around, right? They're funny and they're positive and they're vibrant. And then the women that did stay with me, we got really close, and they've been really supportive. So those are the people that you want to hang on to. So here's the question, right? So that's how you lose your friends. Now, what do you do? What do you do now? So unless you're going to sit at home with your knitting every night, which you probably don't want to do necessarily, what are you going to do to find new friends as an adult, right? So finding friends is kind of like dating. Now, if you listened to me yesterday, you probably haven't started dating yet. My dogs have just decided to start fighting right now. Thanks. So the thing is, if you don't get out there and meet people who have similar interests to yours, you're never going to make new friends. I get it. It's hard, right? It's not easy. So you just go out there and make new friends, right? Yeah, who's she kidding? So believe it or not, I'm actually pretty shy. I mean, I'm talking to a camera right now. I can't see any of you guys. So it's easy for me to do this, right? I'm pretty shy. Walking up to groups of people is really hard for me. But here's the thing. If my alternative is sitting home alone on my couch with my doggies, who are currently fighting, watching Netflix, or, drinking 2 glasses of wine by myself, right? If that's the alternative, you just got to step up and do it, right? You got to swallow hard. You got to slap that smile on your face, even if you don't feel like it. You have to ignore those butterflies in your stomach and just go up to people and introduce yourself. So here's the thing. Let's think about the worst thing that can happen when you meet new people. Okay, what would it be? So you walk up to them and it's a big group of people, or it's one person, and you try to make conversation and they don't answer you. Right? So that's kind of embarrassing. Or they all start talking about something that you have no idea what they're talking about, something about their kids at school. Gosh, what do you do then? Well, you know what? It's happened to me. It's happened to me on more than one occasion. Okay? Walk away, right? You're no worse off than you were before. You weren't friends with those people before. You're not friends with them now, right? But here's the difference. Why don't you think about instead of thinking about the negative side, let's think about the positive side. How about you walk up to these people and you start chatting, and they're really nice, because honestly, most people are really nice, right? You walk up to them, you start chatting, you meet a really interesting person. And then, hey, you sort of become friends. You go out for coffee and you get even more friends. All of a sudden, you've got someone to pop out to coffee with. You have someone to go to a movie with, maybe go out, you know, visit a farmer's market, whatever it is you like to do. And if you look at it that way, there is only an upside. Okay, so that's one way. Go to social events. Now, you don't always get invited to social events as a single person, right? And you don't want to go necessarily to a bar by yourself. Not everybody does. So what else can you do? You can take a class in something that you like doing. And it can be honestly anything. Think about something that you've always put it on your bucket list, right? What's on your bucket list? What have you always wanted to do? Cooking classes. I think I'd like to do that, actually. Maybe I'll do that next month. So take a class in something you've always wanted to do, like cooking or painting, gardening, creative writing, I don't know, knitting, whatever it is you want to do, right? That's a good way to meet people, because you know what, other people are there, they'll have all the same interests as you. You've already got like a huge in right there. And most people go to those things on their own too. You can get involved in a church group if that's something that you like to do. You can go to another group that meets regularly. Nowadays, you know, with the internet, we're so much better off now than we would have been 20 years ago. You can go on the internet. There's this meetup.com is an excellent resource. I think it's everywhere all over the country. It's definitely everywhere around me. Meetup.com, you put in your area, you put in things that you're interested in, whether it be yoga, meditation, girls' night out, whatever, and you're going to find a group that wants to do that, right? So go on there, meet up, and go to one of those things. How about this? You could join a gym, and when you go to classes, you start chatting to somebody who's next to you on the, you know, yoga mat or the spin bike or whatever it is you want to do, right? Join a gym. The other thing, if you're still suffering, you know, from your divorce hangover and you want to work on that, besides finding somebody who's really going to help you, like a coach, you could also go to a support group. Now there you've already got a ready-made community of other divorced women who are looking for someone to hang out with, besides the fact that you're going to get support. They're all looking for friends. So those are just a few suggestions of how you can make new friends after your divorce, okay? If you have any other questions about this at all, I am happy to answer them for you. I have lots of other ideas. Don't think people like to watch a 20-minute video, so reach out to me. You can call me at, get in touch with me at Fiona at findfabulouswithfiona.com. It'll be right below the video. Listen, if you've enjoyed this video, or if you think you know somebody that could really benefit from this, I would love if you would hit that share button and share it to someone else. Let's spread this out. Let's help other people. And if you feel like you need to get a little more information, how about you download my book for free? Fearful to Fabulous, Unlock Your Power, Move On and Thrive After Midlife Divorce. It's fearfultofabulousbook.com. You get a free download. Can't do better than that. Free is good, right? So I will put the link to that as well. So listen, it was great talking to you, and we will get together again tomorrow. If you have a question that you would like me to answer, stick that in the messages or send me that email at fiona@findfabulouswithfiona.com, and we will add it to the list. Thank you. Bye.